On today's episode of the Grab My Banner podcast, we will be interviewing ThatOneApexBot and talk a little bit about how he trolled the entire Apex community with one simple tweet. We're also going to talk about which one is better, Battle Royale or Arenas, get into gambling a little bit, of course, do the Raise Energy question of the week, and then get into gambling, the first week of gambling. So, without further ado, let's get into the show. Don't forget, after the show's over, leave us a review. Let us know what you think. Welcome to the Apex Legends drive-thru. How are you doing today?
I'm doing good. How are you?
Oh, I'm doing great. Order when you're ready.
Yeah, just give me 1 second. All right, can I get an unranked trio with 2 teammates?
Oh, you know what? We're actually fresh out of those. I apologize.
All right, that's fine. That's fine. Can I get an unranked duo with 1 teammate?
Yo, we actually ran into those earlier today as well. I'm so sorry.
All right. Can I get a trio with 1 teammate?
Yeah, you can get a trio with 1 teammate, but the teammate's going to be a Rampart. Is that okay?
No.
We have a fuse as well.
No, we're not going to do that. Can I just get a side of servers with some good ping? No?
No, sorry, no. We've never carried that.
Oh, okay. Is there anything that you can get me? Is there anything that you still have in stock?
We could actually give you a recolor.
For how much?
$20.
What the fuck? This is horseshit. This is bullshit. I never even seen anything like this. This is the worst service I've ever seen. I'm fucking out of here.
What's up, everyone? Welcome back to another episode of the Grab My Banner podcast, episode number 37. And boys, we have white backpacks again. It is the most rare commodity over Season 9, and we finally are able to open up a loot crate and know that we're going to get a white bag.
What's a backpack? Is that the thing I put on when I carry Troy?
Yeah, so Brian, it's been so long since you've been able to carry one that I understand why you don't remember what it looks like, but it's a square gray backpack, and it instantly became, more valuable than Bitcoin because it was so rare. You needed to find one, and now they're available. So
it's too late to invest.
Too late, yeah.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah,
tragic.
Well, you waited too long.
I missed out on that one.
You missed out, yeah. It was $BCPK backpack.
Yeah.
Shit.
Yeah, unfortunate. But either way, backpacks are back.
It's not too late to invest in Ass Coin, though.
No, Ass Coin is still out there.
Yes.
So
Yeah,
if you're looking...
I found out a new fact today, speaking about ass. Loba's ass in this game is the only legend that actually has a quote-unquote bone in her ass, as far as, like, the pixels go. And it can actually be the only one that has her ass is the only one that can have its own individual animations while moving.
So, jiggle physics?
Yeah.
It's entirely, listen, it's there, it's ready to be implemented in the correct implants on her body, but...
Don't say that. You stop it right now. You stop it right now.
I was wondering how far I was going to get with that.
Season 10 jiggle physics. Hashtag Season 10 jiggle physics. That's what we're promoting on Twitter for the next few weeks. But speaking of promotion on Twitter, this entire week I've been hyping up. There's 2 groups of people at this table. Well, I guess 3.
3 fucker.
Sorry, I guess
does a group have to be more than 2 people?
Well, he does
First
actually.
Of all, it's 4.
Yeah,
bitch.
So you added a number on that.
You did. You just added a number.
Counting myself and 3 others.
Who counts themselves?
Counting myself and 3 others.
Anyway, if you guys are unfamiliar, listen to last week's episode. But there are Troy's Workhorses, the people who think the Spitfire is okay. There are Brian's Direwolves, who think the Spitfire is a bitch weapon, and then Kyle's Dragon Riders, who I really don't know their platform because
we hate the Spitfire.
Well, it's pretty much the same as Brian's.
Yeah.
So I don't.
But we're cooler than Brian's.
Okay, well, you're gonna have to explain it. But let's get through. I want you guys to each state what being a Dragon Rider, a Workhorse, a Direwolf. I want you to explain what that means so that the listeners at home can pick a side properly. And I think it's only fair that Troy brought this up first. He said the word workhorse first, so we're going to give Troy the first chance. Troy, explain what a workhorse is for the people at home.
First of all, I really appreciate having the time to explain my own platform in my own words.
Yeah.
Okay, a workhorse.
Bitches.
A workhorse is somebody.
Bitches.
You see how the only kind of person that would interrupt when he knows he's going to have his own time to talk, right? is a straight up motherfucking bitch.
Yeah.
Because that's someone that can't play by the rules. He needs something cheap. He needs something that gives some kind of an unfair advantage, right? And that's what
How
you
many
see.
times have I been
That's
cut off by
shut
Troy
the
on this
fuck
podcast?
up, Brian. Shut the motherfuck up. It is my turn. All right? It is my turn. Workhorses don't need an unfair advantage. We don't need crazy headshot damage. We don't need any of that bullshit. We need something that is going to clock
skill
in.
weapons?
We need something that is going to clock in, clock out, and go as far as we need it to go in the first round. The magazine size, consistent damage output, consistent bullet spread that is very manageable recoil pattern of the Spitfire allows you to use it as a multi-tool that can wipe a whole squad if you're good enough from the very first round.
Okay.
So Workhorses are no frills, they're gritty, and they're focused on victory with no excuses. The group as a whole is a group of people that you can depend on to not be concerned with status, to not be concerned with flash, to not be concerned with what others think of them. The only thing they want is results. And that's what I stand for, is
Okay.
I stand for results. And if you want results in the first round, a guaranteed way to get it every time, regardless of the makeup of the team that you're facing, is to go with the Spitty.
Okay. So that is the Workhorse platform. Brian, you were the one to bring up the Dire Wolf second. Actually, technically, Kyle brought up Dragon Rider before you, but he
Immediately got out.
Yeah, I mean, almost
the fuck out of
immediately. So, Brian, go ahead and describe what a dire wolf is.
Dire wolves are hunters.
Okay.
We hunt. We move in a pack. We surround the enemy and we take them down. We work as a cohesive unit, as a team, to take down the kills. We do not use weapons that do not require skill, weapons that you can sit there and spray down a hallway for hours at a time, weapons you don't have to even aim down sight to spray down a hallway for an entire time. We think that recoil adds skill to the game, being able to manage and control that, and that single-fire weapons add even more so with precise aiming and precise movement. We think that basically we're not little bitches.
Okay. Interesting.
We're not the kind of wolves that will leave the pack. We won't quit in the lobby. We won't leave you alone as a solo. And guess what? If you are a solo on the opposing team, we understand, and we will fight you one-on-one the entire time and make it a fair fight still. We respect for the game.
The dire wolf code is we won't use anything that we deem as overly powerful or cheap because we like to rely on our skills. We like to make ourselves better by using things that may not be as easy to use. We like to try and hone in on our abilities and try and get better that way.
Not only because we are just flat out better, but because we don't have to rely on a crutch of an overpowered weapon.
Interesting. No crutches. That's something you got to pay attention
I do want to throw this out there. If we look at past history, and not just the front that's being put on, how many times has the workhorse, quote-unquote, interrupted the dire wolves?
Okay, that is there. He has a point there. So you think that maybe the workhorses are putting on a little bit of a facade right now?
I wouldn't be surprised by it. I think that just like them jumping to the Spitfire, they would have jumped to the Devotion Season 1, the Havoc Season 2, and any other gun that has been overpowered. They Hemlock in its prime. I think that they jumped to the best thing available at the moment.
Okay, and then I think we're moving on. No, sorry. There's another team. Sorry about that.
My bad.
Sorry about that, Kyle. So Kyle, just describe the fucking dinosaur bitches.
Hey, fuck you. It's the Dragon Riders, baby. And we're out here, okay? Because the Dragon Riders, we get W's. Okay, we're out here. Right. We don't use the fucking Spitfire.
The Spitfire. The Spitfire.
The Bitchfire. The Spitfire. The whole
perfect.
nine. We don't use that gun. That's what it is. It's a Spitfire, okay?
Okay, but here's the thing, Kyle. I need you to explain to me
Listen,
how you're any different than a dire
I'm getting there,
wolf.
baby.
Okay,
We're getting there.
Okay.
We use skill weapons, but it ain't like the dire wolves. They're just trying to get shit done. We're out here doing flashy shit. We're getting it done. We're capping people from across the map. When we hit that 360 Sentinel headshot, bro, to win the game, we're fucking jumping up, sniping people midair. It's doing 360 W20s, flying upside down and capping people, baby. Okay. That's what we're out here doing. We're looking good doing it too.
Now,
No, put your hand down. You don't deserve shit. Get out of here. You know what? We're doing some flashy ass shit. We're looking good doing it, baby. That's what we're doing. That's what the Dragon Riders are out here for, baby. We're putting on a show.
Do you need a pair of pit vipers to be a part of the Dragon Riders, or is it just it would be preferred?
It's highly recommended that you get a fresh pair of pits when you join. But if you don't got them, it's all right.
Okay. All right. Well, that was about 15 to 20 more seconds than I was going to give Kyle to explain his platform, but I gave him his time.
Oh, also, our main goal in life as a Dragon Rider is to shit on kids that use the Spitfire because they suck.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, those are all three platforms. You guys need to go ahead and pick which of the three that there are. So you make the proper decision, especially in the Discord, because there will be roles assigned for Dragon Riders, Dire Wolves, and Workhorses. All right, boys, let's get on to the rest of the show. Let's get into the Raise Energy question of the week. Raise Energy, get on down and use code BANNER, BANNER, and use it at repsports.com so you can get 15% off all purchases of Raise Energy products and Rep Sports products. Boys, Raise Energy question of the week. Which fast food place would each legend like to go to the most? And I think there's a lot of great fast food areas. We're not just including places with drive-thrus. We're also including places that you just kind of eat really quick. Places like the Waffle House. And that's my first one. I bring up Revenant because the Waffle House has had plenty of murders. That's not a joke. They've had like a lot of murders at Waffle Houses. I read it before the show. That's Revenant's spot to go. He's going for the murders. He might be he is the murderer. Probably. So he's going there. That's where he likes to eat. He'll get his 2 waffles, side of eggs, then he murders somebody. That's where he's going.
That's why they have that shape. They're little squares. They're really just to hold the blood.
Yeah. So it can kind of drip through.
That's
goes
right.
to the drain.
It goes exactly.
Yeah.
It just feels little
in the back of the kitchen.
Absolutely.
For sure.
Do you guys remember the old rumor about Wendy's burgers?
Oh, there's a lot of rumors.
The old rumor that I was always told as a kid was it was kangaroo meat.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Why
and
Wendy's? What?
I don't know. Something with the square
Is it
patties.
square?
I don't fucking get it. I was told it was weird meat and it was kangaroo meat. Okay? And you know what? That just instantly relates to Fuse in my brain. So Fuse is definitely going to Wendy's and eating some kangaroo.
Brian, I can actually corroborate your report. Me and Kyle went through a list of different controversies, and it wasn't confirmed that it was kangaroo, but I clicked on a Reddit post, and somebody was like, just want you guys to know, kangaroo meat is really fucking good, so even if you did get kangaroo meat, enjoy it because it's good. So that's Fuse.
That's real, but like... Listen. How the fuck would kangaroo meat be cheaper than cow?
I don't know.
You know what I mean? Like, that feels like it's such like a delicacy.
I feel like somebody probably just killed a bunch of kangaroos.
We say that because it's like foreign, but really you have to think like kangaroo is a type of rodent. Like I would assume without knowing anything about a kangaroo, I would assume they probably breed like rodents to a degree. So maybe it's just mass breeding.
There's got to be a lot.
There's got to be something.
Aren't they marsupials? Because they have the pouch.
Yeah, they have the pouch.
But I'm saying like they couldn't have like huge litters because they wouldn't fit in the pouch.
Yeah,
but
that's all. I mean, maybe I don't know. Maybe the pouch isn't as big of a deal as I think.
You want to know something absolutely scary? Google what is on the inside of a kangaroo's pouch.
Oh Jesus!
I'm
gonna Google. I want to just come out and say real quick. Okay, all right, Brian, go ahead.
Google it. I want your reaction on here.
Okay, as I'm Googling this, I want to just real quickly say Kyle's never hit a 360 Sentinel shot in his life.
Yeah, I was going to say, I've never heard you doing that.
I don't know what the fuck.
Get out of here.
Have you, though?
The Workhorses are the only ones.
No, you have not.
Yes, I have.
The Workhorses are the only ones.
All right, I'm doing a video this week. I'm hitting a
that
360 fucking Sentinel shot.
Well, I mean, it sounds like that's the case, too. But we're the only ones that actually embody the ideals of our platform.
Get out of here.
I don't see you going out there and slaying with the wingman, Brian.
I do. I literally play, dude. I play one
all the time.
You're not doing any 360s?
You're not a dire wolf. You said flashy 360.
Dude, all I'm saying is I clock in and clock out.
I use the wingman.
Yeah, you clock and get 3 fucking
G7
wins.
Single fire weapons more than anyone else at this table by a mile. Everyone here vouch for that.
I know, but I haven't seen you slay, bro.
Well, Brian's platform had nothing about flash.
It said we move as a cohesive team and we get
anything
kills
about
and we get wins.
Kyle's is flash.
I called Kyle out because I haven't seen these flamboyant plays.
We need to see a video of this.
Where's
the video?
Fine.
Where's that Craver shot?
But I also don't think
I suck dick with the Kraber. I will say that.
Well,
But
isn't that the platform of the Dragon Rider?
Shouldn't it be the king?
the Sentinel's the king.
Can it one-shot somebody?
It
at
may
full
have a
health?
higher difficulty
Red?
ceiling, but I think the Kraber is the cooler one.
All right, fine. Then I will get a 360 Kraber shot.
If you're talking Dragon Riders, right? Like, that is the embodiment
Listen.
of Flash, is the Kraber.
It better. If I was a part
All
of
right,
the Dragon
fine. I'll
Riders,
get really good with the Kraber, and I'll hit a 360 Kraber shot.
I'd like to
I would
see
love
it.
to see that.
All right, I will.
Either way, moving on back into the fast food discussion, Gibraltar, he eats all of them all the time because he's fat as shit. People get mad at me when I say that, but he's fat. That's what it is. I actually started a blog on the Grab My Banner website. Go check out the Grab My Banner website. What is Gibraltar eating today? And it's just a long list of his order at various fast food restaurants that he would have throughout the week. Gibraltar's fat. He eats all of them. Now, is Gibraltar still strong? Yes, but he's also fat.
Listen, you got to be strong to carry all that weight.
Exactly.
I think that he's going to Burger King because it's the most bang for your buck. And I think he's just ordering like a shit ton of those like 79-cent chicken nuggets, and he just eats like 50 pounds.
Well, think about it this way. Chad Ochocinco, one of the better wide receivers of the last 20 years, I would say.
Yeah.
Better.
Not the best, not top 10, but better.
He's
yeah.
more notable. He eats McDonald's every single day, and he is still very in shape, very good. Now, is he going to die early? Probably. But he's still in shape.
Wait,
he can
he
still
eats
do
McDonald's every day?
single day.
Well, when you work
Every
out like
single
that
day.
so consistently, you can eat almost anything you want and be fine.
That's
You-
still fucking insane to me. Though.
It still might contribute to like heart disease. Or
Yeah,
something,
like
but-
I mean, at some point it might have some factor. It might shave a few years off his life, but he's working out hard enough to be.
Yeah,
able to do so.
but I mean, we never know anyway. Gibraltar, he can eat all this fast food and still be strong. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying he's also fat. That's all.
Right.
That's what it is.
that's right.
That's what it is.
Listen, some guys are just big. Another big guy in the roster is Caustic. Anybody
Caustic's a thick boy.
heard? Somebody had one for Caustic.
I
earlier.
definitely do. Actually,
fucking thick boy.
Caustic, speaking of Jack in the Box once again, the Jack in the Box has had the biggest fast food breakout of E. coli ever recorded, and in that recording, 4 people died. I think it infected over 700 people with E. coli. Jack in the Box almost went out of business because of this. Caustic definitely eats at Jack in the Box just to support the cause of mass distribution of a deadly, deadly virus. And so he likes to support Jack in the Box. So he's going to Jack in the Box all the time, getting those little tacos.
That bastard. Anything he can do to get more orphans.
Exactly. Actually, the four people that died were all children.
I got another one for Caustic. Caustic actually eats at Arby's because Arby's actually had an incident a while back where there was human skin found in the actual Arby's sandwich.
And if we know
Dang.
Caustic well enough, he likes humans.
I don't know if he
Yes.
would eat at Arby's, more or less own an Arby's.
I think,
True.
yeah, maybe he
I
does.
feel like he would own the Arby's.
Maybe he
Arby's
owns the Arby's.
Arby's literally is like the perfect restaurant for getting rid of bodies.
We got
Exactly.
the meats.
It's the perfect. Yeah,
Well-
actually, because of that slogan, I was thinking of Arby's for Wraith.
Explain.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
Yeah, you got this.
You're fine.
I think she enjoys the meats. That's
Yeah,
all I'm
that-
saying.
That just means that she likes meat.
Listen,
she
dude,
likes the
listen,
meats.
I think she's a fit carnivorous woman.
She
They
likes the
cannot
meats.
get enough of the meats.
She likes the
yeah,
meat.
she likes the meats.
She likes the meat. So that's really all it is. she
what
just
I was-
likes the
that's
meat.
what I was thinking. She has a lot of options of meat.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
And
That's
I think that would be attractive for her appetite.
well,
Yes.
all we're saying is that she likes
The meat.
Meat.
the meat. So that's that's it. That's
For,
really all it is.
for Wraith, I wrote that she likes In-N-Out because she
likes the
likes
Meat.
She likes the meat.
Yeah.
I always said she orders a 10 by 10, but I'm not talking about a burger.
oh the zing. Nice.
10 by 10? My God.
not the burger.
So much she ordered it so much they took it off the menu. You know
Yep,
what I
they
mean?
had to. They had to.
I had a Pathfinder. His favorite place to go is the Jiffy Lube.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I felt like that was just a solid
Discount. If we're talking fast food of like getting your oil changed, Jiffy Lube's got to be the place because they're like everywhere. You just drive in real fast.
Yeah,
it's
he
done.
just grapples in, grapples out, and he's done. By the
Pretty
time his
much.
grapple gets off cooldown, it's been long enough to
Jiffy
change his oil.
Lube. Jiffy Lube is the McDonald's of mechanic and oil change places.
Yeah, pretty much.
It's
like
the
that-
McDonald's of that.
I feel like that's fair.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Speaking of McDonald's, though, in 2014, there was an incident at a Pittsburgh McDonald's where people would drive up to the drive-thru window and say, "Can I have a toy?" And a specific McDonald's employee would say, "Yeah," and she would put in like bags of heroin in the Happy Meal for the people, and she eventually got busted, but Octane would definitely be going to McDonald's asking for a toy. That's all I'm saying. I know we talked about Fuse earlier, but I also said Fuse would like to go to Subway, but before he like goes home with his foot long, he pulls out his dick and measures it next to it, because I think we all can agree at this table, Fuse has a foot long ween.
Probably.
Dude's just carrying.
That's the only reason he
out.
got away with slapping
He is
Caustic's ass.
Yes.
He's packing heat. Fuse carries big dick energy with him wherever he goes.
Honestly.
No.
I said that Fuse would eat at Chipotle because Chipotle is the only fast food place that really serves beer. So I was like, Fuse just shows up, buys one burrito, and buys like 50 beers, and he's just sitting there all day.
Just
drinking.
walking out with like 8 Coronas.
So
It's true.
I had one more for Wraith.
Okay, shoot.
Well, 2 actually, kind of the same thing. One was
At
the
the
wiener.
same time?
One was the wiener schnitzel.
Okay.
Because she likes the meat, right?
The
Yeah,
meat. She loves a good hot dog.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What does that even translate to?
And I don't know. I don't want to know. The second one was Rocket Dog.
Okay. So she just likes hot dogs.
She loves a good hot dog, whether it's spicy, sweet, savory, doesn't matter. She
Long.
literally she orders the extra long dog every time because she wants it. She loves it.
She loves.
It's her favorite.
It's her favorite one.
favorite kind of dog.
You know, Brian, you're on a good track. I actually said Carl's Jr. for Wraith because they had those bikini ads for the longest time. Remember, they do the $6 burger.
I totally remember.
It'd be like Paris Hilton.
Yeah, the all slow motion.
Yeah, so I mean that would really kickstart her OnlyFans to like the next level.
I thought of that as Gibraltar because the old slogan, "Don't bother me, I'm eating."
Oh, that's a good one
That
too.
was so true.
And like, if I'm being real,
great slogan.
such a great
Gibraltar's
slogan.
going to Carl's Jr. all the time because their burgers are charbroiled and they're just
Dude,
better.
Their
Good.
burgers
They are
fucking
just
suck.
better.
Brian,
Get out-
shut
Brian,
up, Brian.
shut
Their
up.
burger. Listen, I went back. I tried their charbroiled fucking.
You can't even
$6
say the damn word, Brian.
I can't say it right now, okay? But I've tried their fucking burger, the $6 burger. I've tried the normal one. I've tried the third pound patty, the double third pound patty, whatever the fuck it is.
Oh my god.
You just
I
don't
tried
like
the
mayo.
exact same order Troy orders, and they're all ass.
Dude,
you
typical
just
burgers taste
typical
burnt.
fucking
They do
dire wolf
Listen,
bad
Yeah, that's
take.
a minus point to me
typical
for
That's a
the
minus
dire
point for
wolf
dire
bad
wolves.
take. I don't know, dude.
My last one, Watson, Long John Silver's. I fully embraced Watson and her below the waist
Affinity
ocean.
for the sea.
I had
Under the sea. I have I fully embraced Watson, Long John Silver's.
So wait, you're on board now?
I'm on board.
Oh yeah.
Well, you could say I'm off board or walking the plank into the ocean.
That's right.
For Watson.
Yeah.
It's taken a long time, but I'm finally here, and I'm accepting it. And that's okay. And that's all right.
That's good.
Sometimes it's okay to grow. That'll do it for the Raise Energy question of the week. Don't forget to head on down and use code BANNER for 15% off all Raise Energy products. You want to get yourself some Raise Energy, and here's why, folks. You want to be able to focus during your session. Get yourself some Raise Energy, and while you're at it, use code BANNER so you can get some money off of that. Use code BANNER, BANNER, at repsports.com. Boys, let's move on into the discussion of the week. And then after that, we'll be on the interview with ThatOneApexBot. Boys, discussion of the week. If you had to choose one game mode in Apex to play forever, Arenas or the Battle Royale, which one are you choosing and why?
I fucking love arenas, man. I love the economy system. I love the strategy. It's just, and you know, you don't have to worry about those pesky third parties, bro. It's just you mano-y-mano with another team, and you're just coming out. You're seeing whether you're coming out on top or you're going down. You know what I mean? And there's just comps you build, and you can do all kinds of crazy shit with guns, you know. And then you know you get to shit on kids, and when they buy the Spitfire first round, it's just all the best things.
Mm-hmm.
I have to say I actually agree with Kyle on this. First of all, I can see myself progressing a lot faster in arenas than I do in BR. Because in BR, a lot of times, like, you just don't have as much time to practice the actual skills that you need to succeed. Because a lot of it is, like, a very large portion of the game is traveling and acquiring resources off the ground. So you get to see yourself progress quicker, which is something I really appreciate. But also, if you listen to the really good pros talk about Apex, they talk about how an instrumental, like a fundamental part of Apex Legends as a game that they enjoy is preparing for third parties and getting ahead of third parties and being ready for them in such a way that they can actually, that it's a part of their game to be accounting for it, and that's part of the challenge that draws them in. I am nowhere near good enough to think about that. I'm just thinking about how do I get an advantage on the person immediately in front of me and hit my shots. My positioning mid-fight is still garbage, let alone thinking about my positioning relative to the rotation of other teams. So I think, at least for me, as somebody that plays very casually and not very often, Arenas has far fewer skills that I have to master, and that's another reason I progress a lot quicker. So I would stick with Arenas because I love seeing myself get better, and the immediate gratification of sitting through a session and feeling better from beginning to end almost every time, that's what keeps me going.
Yeah, I'm on the BR side, and I have a personal anecdote with it. When Season 9 first started and we were actually able to play it, when me and Kyle played Arenas, we played Arenas for a good, probably 2 or 3 hours, and then we're like, hey, let's go back to the BR. And as much as Arenas is fun, and by me picking BR, it doesn't mean that I don't like Arenas. I really do like it, but there's just a weird... there's a blueprint to Arenas, whereas in the BR, everything changes every single game. You may land in the same spots, but you're never going to get the same loot, and I love the idea of always having something different happen throughout throughout the game. And if I had to pick one to play forever, I want to pick the one with the most variation, so it's harder for me to get bored, and it's harder for me to not want to be around it. The other thing about the BR too is I love the traveling aspect. It's just fun for me to kind of move around different areas of the map, and then the circle moves to here, so now you're going through these different rotations and trying to go through and do all these different things that it changes every single time, and I have so much fun with that variation. And as much as the third parties can be annoying at times, what I do appreciate about it is, like Troy said, a lot of the pros talk about how they need to come out on top of these third parties and how they need to try and work around them. That, for me, is one of the funnest parts. It is annoying when you don't survive one, but when you come out on top of a third or maybe even a fourth or fifth party, maybe even just escaping with what life you have left, and you're able to come back later on and finish up the fight, that is satisfying to me because it's always a very cool teamwork experience to be able to be everybody get out of here, and then we can go back in, retry everything. It's just a different variation every single time, and to me that is extremely fun. Arenas has gotten a little dry, not because of the mode. It's more I wish they would actually have all 5 maps in rotation. It does get very stagnant when you kind of have the same 3. If they had more maps in rotation, it would be a much harder decision for me. Because I loved this new thermal station map. I don't know if you guys have played it that much yet.
I like it.
It's very good. So if they had all 5 in rotation, we haven't even tried Gardens yet. And, we're almost a month into the season. We still haven't tried it. But if they had all 5, it'd be a much tougher decision. Think about it if they actually have way more maps in the future. Then it's going to be a really hard decision because then it's kind of the same thing. You're going through the different motions. But I do love that BR aspect. I do love the fact that things are different every single time. And does it have drawbacks? Yeah, sometimes you're not going to have the right weapon. Yeah, sometimes you're not going to get that purple armor. He will. Yeah, or he or she will. Yeah, you're not going to get, the best attachments. But, I mean, think about the games you won when you didn't have the best loadout. Think about the fights you won when you were coming from behind with the team. Think about all those different types of things. It really does add a cool aspect to the game. And when you guys can come together for a win against an entire group of 60 people, I think that's a lot more satisfying than a win against just one other team.
The adaptability is, I think, what you were talking about. When you get shit loot in the beginning, or you get different loot in the beginning, and you got to kind of adapt to what you get, I feel like that is a good feeling too. And then being able to come out on top, when you just bring your teammate in after they got full killed, and then they just have white armor, and then you just shit on a team that's got full purples or full reds, you feel on top of the world.
Okay, I'm a BR guy. I love Arenas, don't get me wrong. They have their place in this game, and it's a great time. I love playing on Arenas. Great. if I had to pick one to always play, it's going to be the BR. Because as great of a feeling the arenas give you when you get a win, the rounds won comes so quickly. Think of a round 9 win. It's been a dogfight the entire match, right? Round 9 win, you get it, you feel good. It feels great. You're ready up and you're in the next one immediately. Okay, compare that feeling to when I list off these places and when you run these places. Nobody can touch you in these places, the same feeling. Because I think the round 9 win, we can all agree, that's the best feeling that you get out of arenas.
Mm-hmm. Or like a good clutch.
Or
a really solid clutch.
Really solid clutch. Or even if you clutch the round 9. Let's just say that.
Clutch
right?
round 9 is on top of the world. Yeah,
probably one of the best feelings you get in arenas. Compare that to when I say you run these cities. You and your squad are holding down the building. Everyone's trying to get to your spot, and nobody's able to touch you. Anyone who challenges you dies. Skulltown, Cap City, Fragment East, Fragment West, Train Yard, Hammond Labs. Those places, when you hold those areas and you have a building there or you have something, a little bit of cover, and you're wrecking the other team, you are fucking with every team that comes to you in those lobbies, and you are winning the game and dominating as the kill leader, holding it for 20 minutes plus, that feeling is amazing when it's just nonstop, consistent fight. No third party can fucking touch you. That right there to me is the best feeling in the game. So BR not only offers variety and everything that Wyatt has explained, but to me it also offers the highest high in the game compared to its lowest point is... The lowest point of BR is what? You drop, you get shit guns, and you get steamrolled. While the lowest point in Arena is you drop, you get to choose the guns you wanted, and you get steamrolled. Which one feels shittier? You having shit circumstance where you get steamrolled, or you playing to the best of your ability and just not being good enough?
Yeah, and I think that high is...
I think the BR high is higher, and the Arena low is lower.
Yeah.
Compared... So I prefer the BR just straight across.
You know what's weird is we've said this 1,000 times on the show. Gamers complain a lot. We know that. And what's so weird to me is I think most people right now would say arenas, even though they've played this game since launch. For people who would prefer arenas, I'm going to try to sway you into why you should give the Battle Royale a little bit more respect here. When you're playing a Battle Royale, I don't understand the people who say there's too many third parties. You are in one map with a bunch of other teams, and you're all trying to come out on top. I don't know why you're saying there's too many third parties. It's literally just the way the game has been played, and every BR has these. Every single one. There's not one BR that does not have these third parties. So how did you get playing through 8 seasons of a game and still think that there's too many third parties? It's just what happens in every single Battle Royale. So when it comes to getting into the game and trying to enjoy the Battle Royale, I urge you to stop being so negative and actually enjoy the experience ahead of what you're actually playing. There's a lot of kids out there immediately when it comes to any video game who are just going to have negativity right off the rip. Instead of saying, I just died to this third party, this sucks, think of it in a more positive light and be like, I was able to do this fight. I got third party and it sucked, but I could have finished it a lot earlier. If you take more self-accountability during a BR, you really start to enjoy it a lot more because now you're working on things to make yourself a better player. And I urge the people out there, I'm not trying to say that Arena, you should like the BR more than Arena, but for people who do like the Arenas more than the BR, try thinking of it in a different light. Try looking at those different aspects of the BR and think to yourself, what could I have done differently in this thing? And what it does is it makes it to where there's goals that you can set for yourself to in every game moving forward. You say, well, I should have done this differently. And it makes it to where you're constantly working on your craft and trying to get better every single time. And what I've learned in life is anytime you're working hard to get better at something, it's always more enjoyable because you're watching yourself grow in real time. That's always fun. Arenas. If somebody likes the BR more, try to explain why they should give more respect to the arena.
You know what? Honestly, man, I don't think so. I don't think they should. I think that, maybe you just don't like third parties, and that's just not your thing. But now, because of the arenas, you have an opportunity to enjoy Apex anyway. And I think that was the gift that Apex gave us in this Legacy season was, not only did it give you a great place to train your raw combat skills if you really love the BR, but if you just are just sick of the grind of the BR where you just feel like you keep getting robbed or it's just a little slow for you or whatever, man, the BR can stay what so many people love, and you can still get to enjoy, Apex and all of its wonderful characters and its unique styling, both in the combat and the graphics, in a different way. So I really don't think anybody's wrong if they like the BR or, more than the arena or vice versa. It's just whatever resonates with you is cool with me. It's if you're enjoying Apex, we're glad that you're enjoying Apex.
Yeah, I think that's the main thing, man. And then just the only thing that really Arenas has going for it that it has more than the BR has is just you get more time with the guns that you really love. Because in the BR, I love the R99, but I could play 12 games of the BR and never find an R99. So that's the only thing that Arenas really has going for it is you can play with whatever gun you love the most out of anything and just constantly play with it as much as you want. It also gives you a better time to practice with that gun. So then when you actually get into the BR and you get the gun that you love, you can do a better, much more work with it than if you didn't have any practice.
It's
with it
basically
at all.
a firing range, but with real people,
with real bodies.
It's like a training camp, pretty much. What do you guys think at home? Which one would you guys rather play, and why? Are you more of a BR person, or do you really like the arenas, and you think that that's the better direction for Apex Legends to go? Let me know. Hit us up on the DMs on Twitter, Instagram, Discord. Just say what you feel. Give me some reasons why. We've been getting a lot of DMs recently talking about all that type of stuff. We're going to head on down to our very cool interview with ThatOneApexBot on Twitter. He's a YouTuber and an Apex commenter on Twitter. He just trolled the entire community last week with an awesome tweet. I talked a little bit to him about that and some of his thoughts on what's happening around the Apex Legends community. Go ahead and listen to him. We'll see you guys right on the other side.
All right, just started. All right, here we go. All right, guys, I'm here with @ThatOneApexBot on Twitter, otherwise known as Kareem. Kareem, how are you doing today?
I'm fine, Wyatt. How are you doing?
Oh, I'm doing fantastic. Well, Kareem, you pulled off one of the biggest trolls in a long time on Twitter. Now, to any normal Twitter user, this thing happens all the time. You get somebody changing their name to, it could be something like ESPN. They change their profile picture, they change their name on Twitter, and then they tweet something. And, you'll get one or two people. But for those who have been on Twitter for a long time, it's not that easy to get somebody anymore, I would assume, correct?
Yep.
Yeah, and so you did something similar where you changed your @ to Respawn, you changed your name to Respawn, and you changed your picture to Respawn's picture, and you put out a tweet that said, "Heads up, Legends, just put out a small play Apex balance update for the Spitfire, reduce damage from 18 to 17, increase hip fire spread greatly, increase recoil spread greatly, and the gold and purple mag size was reduced from 50 to 45. See you in the arena, Legends." And holy shit, your tweet absolutely exploded. Walk me through that decision. Walk me through that day and how crazy it was.
All right. So I was just chilling at work. I was just minding my business. I had nothing to do. I had no work to do. And I was sitting there talking to a few friends in a group chat. And they really hate the Spitfire. I think the whole Apex community hates the Spitfire, 95% of it. So I thought, it'd just be a good idea to troll my friends. And so I went through the whole process of changing my name, my picture, and everything. And I made that tweet and I sent it to my group chat. And they were pissed. They were very, very pissed when they saw it was fake. You had all these celebrations. Whoa, yeah, the Spitfire's been nerfed. And then this sudden realization, and everyone just calls me "fuck you" and everything like that. About 15 minutes later, I went on. I saw that it almost had 200 likes. I was a bit baffled. I knew it was going to bamboozle a few people, but not that much. And then a lot of people started to believe it was Respawn, and there were comments like, "Can you fix this? Can you fix that?" So I went along with it, and you probably saw all of those tweets. And
Yeah, there was a lot of them. Now, the funniest part was, I think it just speaks volumes to the Apex community, where immediately after a tweet goes out, there's people asking for you to fix other things. Because if you read any of the Respawn or Play Apex tweets, it's always fix this, fix that when they're in the midst of fixing something.
It did surprise me. It just dawned on me how annoying it actually must be for the the person who owns the account to be seeing all of these messages. Like, you expect people to be saying, "Okay, this is great, this is that," asking more about the changes. But it was very weird. I didn't like it. I see why Respawn sometimes do get annoyed, and other game companies too, because things that have no relation to the tweet, I don't know why you would keep saying it. People just spam stuff. And then you have the different opinions of the community, like, was this a good decision or was it not a good decision? And it just shows how stupid, I'm sorry to say, the Apex community is. They are very, very stupid.
Yeah, I don't know if I would relate it just to Apex. I think it's gaming in general, because
gaming in general, 100%.
Yeah, I mean,
if you go into the comments, of Call of Duty channels, they're just even worse.
Good God. Here's the other question I had, because it was about the Spitfire. Was there anybody who contested the changes? Were there people who were actually happy not happy that the Spitfire was being nerfed in your fake tweet?
Yeah, there was. There was more than I expected. I would say 60% agreed with it, 40% didn't. A lot of the quote tweets were saying, what kind of nerf of this? You don't want to gut it to the ground. And, I was going to do a lot more horrible changes, but I wanted to make it, a little bit believable. My intention was to make the damage go down to 12. But I thought, people would catch on to that. And I did make a mistake in the tweet. I did want to, do all mag sizes, like reducing all of them, but it just won't fit in it. So I just did gold and purple. And I thought that would mess it all up.
Yeah.
But still, I think because a lot of people are bamboozled by that too. I think another YouTuber, Pornhub. Do you know Pornhub?
Yes.
Yeah,
I do.
he made a tweet underneath. So basically, the gold and purple mag size will be the same as the blue.
Yeah.
So I did. I'm still baffled. I'm still baffled at how I managed to pull this off. Like, I would expect people would instantly recognize it's a fake tweet. I got many people that I didn't expect to get. I got Garrett Leaks. I got Jay Miles. I got, I think, someone who leaks. I'm not sure. And a lot of other people too.
Yeah, it was surprising. But see, here's the thing. I've been on Twitter since I was like a sophomore in high school. Okay, so I've been bamboozled by a lot of these before. I actually believed one that Kevin Durant signed a 1 year, $1 billion contract with the Golden State Warriors 5 years ago. And I retweeted it with so much anger. I was like, this is ridiculous. I was getting so mad. And somebody was like, bro, it's clearly fake. So to newer Twitter users, this might be a little bit more difficult. But for somebody like me who's experienced, the second I saw it, I was laughing because I knew it was you. Either way, what I thought was the most, let's get into the serious part of it, because you almost lost your Twitter account, and I'm kind of surprised you still have it now. But Ryan Rigney, talk a little bit about what happened with the devs and the people who saw the tweets from Respawn later on.
Yeah, so Ryan saw the tweet, obviously, and he commented, "Oh no, you don't." So I thought it was just a joke.
And who is Ryan Rigney, just to remind people?
I think he's the community manager of Respawn. He helps, communicate with the people on Twitter and, Reddit. He answers their questions and stuff like that. He's comms manager, I think that's what they call it. So his reply, I thought, it was a joke as well. He probably found it funny. And then he replied, "No, not funny." And that's when it, dawned on me. The thing is, I did feel a bit guilty then, because I do respect the developers a lot, especially Ryan Rigney. I do find him very funny. I find him to be, a decent guy. He's chill at times. I think this time, maybe he didn't see the joke, but usually I think he's a nice guy. Regarding other devs, Moipara replied, but he didn't interact with me like when I replied to him. Then this other account, I don't know, this guy who fixes bugs and stuff like that. I think it's RSPN_Pav. He made a tweet saying, this is how people spend their time on Twitter. And I was just sat there thinking, it only took me, 2 minutes
5
to do?
minutes.
And I didn't really say anything to him. And 2 developers ended up blocking me. One was Daniel Z. Klein, and the other, I don't know. I'm not entirely sure who he was. But the reason Daniel blocked me is because I made another tweet to add to the thread saying Daniel is a fucking Mong and doesn't know how to balance.
Oh,
it was a
God.
Twitter intent tweet. This, I felt very, very bad about, since I did not expect him to see it. I deleted the tweet. I took back my statement, except for the fact that he can't balance. He's still lacking in that department. So yeah, the devs are not happy at me.
Yeah, I can tell. Now, here's the funny part, and we saw this play out throughout the weekend, was that, they started tweeting about how, they need they're going to focus on, banning accounts that are doing fake leaks and doing stuff like that, which I guess is a problem, right? I mean, you don't want people just kind of moving around. I don't really see this as a fake leak. I saw this more as just like a troll job, which is, like I've said, if you've been on Twitter for more than 5 years, you see this all the time. But there's legitimate problems with the game. And to be fair, a lot of those problems were fixed in today's patch. As far as Watson goes, with her fences being broken, they fixed that today. But matchmaking is still a major problem. DDoSing is still a major problem. And even some of the more prominent content creators for Apex, such as Lulu, was tweeting about how she lost all of her ranked points in one day's work because of DDoSing servers. And it's kind of interesting how Respawn has shifted focus from something like this. While it seems like things like, Watson being broken, she was broken since the first day of Season 9, and it took them this long to finally fix her. Give me some of your thoughts on what's going on with the Respawn development team and the direction they're heading, because you talked a little bit about it in your most recent YouTube video. Go subscribe to Kareem on YouTube at ThatOneApexBot. But talk a little bit about that and how the direction that Respawn seems to be heading.
Yeah, I'm just not happy with the direction they're going in. I'm going to be honest with you. I do not like Battle Royale games. And then Apex came up and I got into it. It seemed very different. It seemed like a game with a very high skill gap. And I thought the devs, they would be really nice. They were communicating with the community, hence why I went into Apex. But as the seasons have been progressing and as the money's been rolling in, more and more players are coming in, more problems to deal with, they're kind of slacking. You can clearly tell they're slacking, and they're headed in a direction that Fortnite was going in. At this point, Fortnite doesn't get any patch notes. The community has to find out what they've done to the game. So if I'm going to be honest, I think if they put up with this, Apex isn't going to survive. Give it a year or two, and it will be what you call a dead game. Not necessarily dead, like it won't be as mainstream as it was before. So yeah, that's my thoughts on it.
Interesting. Now, the other funniest part I thought about this tweet was the fact that it seemed like there was a lot of positive outreach about the nerf. Now, in a lot of instances with these troll jobs, it's usually like the complete opposite. Like you just try and find a way to make people as mad as possible. What made yours so funny was that so many people liked it and they wanted it, that when they found out it was fake, they were more upset that it wasn't real. Should the Spitfire have taken the nerfs that you were throwing out there?
Yeah, I do believe so. I made it as realistic as possible. I didn't, gut the entire gun. Increasing the recoil won't be bad. The hip fire spread, LMGs are usually, they're supposed to have a very wide hip fire spread. So I try to make it as realistic as possible because I know the community wants this. I don't see how the devs cannot see this. And even after the community constantly complaining about it, they're still not doing anything about it. I mean, they thought they did something about it, but it really didn't. Like the other day, I got 3 people with 1 Spitfire mag, level 3. In fact, no, not level 3, but level 2. That's saying something.
I agree. Now, one of the hosts on our show, the super producer, says that the Spitfire is a workhorse weapon, and that anybody who uses it is just a plain old workhorse. Picks up his lunch pail, goes to work, clocks in, puts in hard hours, clocks out. That's just a workhorse mentality. On the other hand, we have our host, Brian, who says the Spitfire is ridiculous. And if you use it, you are, I mean, for lack of a better word, you're a bitch. That's what he says. And so when you're picking sides here, I mean, it clearly sounds like Brian came up with his own side, the dire wolf. It sounds like you're a dire wolf and you're not a workhorse. Is that correct?
Well, I guess so. I guess I'm not a bitch. I don't use the Spitfire.
So I'm going to have to lock you in as a dire wolf. Confirmed, Kareem is a dire wolf. ThatOneApexBot.
I'm proud.
Dire wolf.
Proud to be a dire horse.
That's what I love to hear. All right, before we let you go, I want to get your opinion on something that's even more important than anything that we've talked about here today. And I want you to help me out with your top 3 of your cheek scale before we head out. Who you got?
Oh, cheek scale. So I'm going to anger a lot of people here. I think the biggest one, number 1, Gibraltar.
I'm not mad at that at all.
It's controversial, but you have to be realistic about it. You have to look at the width of it.
Not enough people look at the width.
Not a lot of people look at the width. No one looks at the width. Loba would come in at second. I do agree with that. And the third, I would say Wraith.
Interesting. Over Watson?
Yeah. Quarantine 72 and those other, similar skins. I would give Wraith a number 3.
Okay. All right. I respect it. All right. Well, Kareem, thank you for hopping on the show. Appreciate you. You put in a lot of hard hours this week. Almost lost your account because of it, but we appreciate you hopping on. If you guys don't follow Kareem on Twitter, you should, at ThatOneApexBot. He is a great follow, always interacting with the Grab My Banner podcast. And don't forget to subscribe to his YouTube channel. You can get the full rundown of what happened over the weekend on his YouTube channel at ThatOneApexBot. We will link it in the bio. Thanks, Kareem. We'll talk to you next time, man.
All right, big shout out to our man Kareem, ThatOneApexBot. We appreciate Kareem so much. Thank you for hopping on the show. You guys need to go check him out. Follow him on Twitter. Subscribe to him on YouTube. He's been a part of our community for a very long time, and he is a great Apex commenter, has a lot of fun content. Check it out. Check out his YouTube. Check out his Twitter. Kareem, thank you for hopping on the show. We love our man Kareem. We're going to head into the Order in the Court segment, and we're going to hit a quick ad, and then after the Order in the Court, we're immediately going to go into the gambling segment of the show. We will see you guys on the other side. All right, here we go. Order in the court. We have already found out our 2 arguers here for the Apex side of the discussion. It is me versus Kyle, and the discussion is R99 versus the Volt. Brian is our judge. Brian, do the honors.
Okay, so the discussion is which one is better, the R99 or the Volt. You guys are each going to present your case. Wyatt, you are the Volt. Kyle, R99.
Okay.
Wyatt, I'm going to give you I'm going to give you the opportunity to set the stage.
Okay.
Whenever you're ready, sir.
All right, so the Volt is a balanced R99 in the fact that it doesn't shoot as fast, it doesn't require as much skill to get the shots off, but it does a similar amount of damage and it can be used at a medium range. Whereas, if you're using the R99 at a medium range, you're going to have a very, very, very solid aim. Now, the Volt also can be used in that I would say skill discussion. It's not as skilled as the R99, but it's perfectly balanced, and I picture it more on the side of an R301, which is very helpful because it comes with that energy ammo, and some people just prefer energy guns over light guns. The other thing I believe is I think that the recoil pattern on the Volt is a lot more safe than the R99, so you're getting those last second shots in, and it still does have a very decent hip fire spread to where you can hit it up close. I also think that the Volt has a much better it's a better gun to use that bruiser sight, whereas the R99, it seems like it's either no sight or you're using the one times. So I say Volt. I like the gun a lot.
Okay, do you rest your case?
I rest my case.
Kyle, you take the floor.
All right, listen, okay. The R99, it's got a faster fire rate. As you just got to hold it straight down for the most part. As long as you're decently skilled at pulling it down and it doesn't sway too far to the left or to the right, you can nail people for a lot even from far range, okay? So it may take a little bit more skill than the Volt, but if you just are good enough at pulling down on the stick or pulling down on your mouse, you can just nail people for an absolute shitload in a second. And because it's got such a fast fire rate, you just dump your clip. And then you just got a fast reload. It comes right back. The Volt, man, I feel like it just takes too long to get that clip all the way out there. With the R99, you're just spitting lead at people. You know, the R9 goes, in my opinion, man. It just goes, just rips people.
Objection.
Sustain.
I would just like to say that the R99, even with the purple mag, there is a lot left to be desired in that clip, and you really do have to hit most of the shots, whereas the Volt, you can get by with the blue or the purple, but the blue is manageable in most fights. That's all I have to say.
I will say that the R99, you got to hit your shots, but man, that's just a skill weapon, baby. And if you hit all your shots, even with a white mag, you're downing somebody. And it's not taking as much time as the Volt does. The Volt takes a longer time to down somebody than the R9 just fucking dead, bro. They're down. And I rest my case.
You rest your case?
I rest my case.
Okay. After tallying up the points that you guys have made either for your weapon or against or for the other person's weapon in some cases, Wyatt, by a very narrow margin, Wyatt has moved on.
Tragic.
There we go.
I've lost
All right.
both of my arguments.
Yeah, Kyle, I want you to know you lost, and you had 5 points, Wyatt had 6. 2 of your 5 points came from Wyatt.
All
I'm
right,
a good argument.
so I will be going up against Troy here. Brian will be the judge once again. Troy, the topic of life is...
What is superior? Bone-in chicken wings or boneless?
Troy, I'm giving you the bone-in chicken wings. Wyatt, let's hear the boneless.
All right, here we go. Boneless chicken wings. Listen, we all know chicken wings are one of the best American food that you can have, especially when you're going to watch any big game, any big celebration. But the thing is, with bone-in wings, they just get extremely dirty, like way dirty than you want to be, especially in a public setting with, maybe people that you've just met for the first time. You want to be able to have that free ability to move your hands, not have to clean up as much. So that boneless wing, you just grab yourself a fork, pop it in your mouth, and it's ready to go. It's just as good, and you get that chicken wing meat without having to go through all the trouble of getting stuff out of your beard, the sauces, all that different type of stuff like that. So I like the boneless wing for that. Also, it's more accessible, and it's a lot easier to take around to different places with you. If, for instance, you go to Wingstop, get yourself some food late at night, you can pop that thing open, grab yourself a fork, start popping them in your mouth. You can't drive around with chicken wings while you're just, freshly pick them up from the Wingstop, from the Buffalo Wild Wings. You got to wait till you get home. Maybe by that time they're a little bit soggy, because we know that can happen, especially in that plastic wrapping. Get a little bit soggy, makes things a little bit more difficult, and it just doesn't have the overall great experience that you can have with the boneless ones. So I'm going to say boneless is really good in those circumstances and in those situations. I rest my case.
You rest your case?
I rest my case.
Okay. Troy, take the floor.
Let me begin by giving a concession to my opponent, and that is that eating bone-in wings is probably not something that you would want to do on most first dates or during a job interview.
Yeah.
I would agree. But that's because that's not what they're for.
No, they're not.
Bone-in wings are an experience. There's something that you need to commit time and energy into in order to get the most out of it. You need to expect to have some cleanup afterwards. You need to expect to look a little bit ridiculous. But you sacrifice that time and you sacrifice maybe a little bit of your dignity for the experience of raw flavor that comes with a bone being left in during the cooking process. If you've ever eaten a New York steak, it is not even close, bone in versus bone out New York steaks. And the reason for that is leaving the bone in does change the dynamic of the cooking because of the way that it inducts the heat into the bone, but also imbues flavor from the bone itself. It's something that cannot be replicated. Now, are you sacrificing the ability to dip as easily? Absolutely. But if you're sitting down in front of some bone-in wings and you're committed to eating them, if you really want more sauce, you pour it over the top because you don't really give a shit how messy it's going to be. That just came as a part of the experience. So, do I think it's less convenient? Absolutely. Do I think it's something that could make you look a little bit ridiculous? Sure. But that's something that people that appreciate flavor are more than willing to sacrifice. And for me, when I go to eat, I go to eat. I don't go to make people think that I'm cool. I don't go because I want to do something convenient most of the time. I mean, sometimes, right? But when I'm trying to get the most out of my meal, I'm going for flavor. And when you want flavor, you leave that bone in. And I rest my case.
From your guys' actual statements, it was also a very, very close call. And it was 6-7 in favor of Troy.
Fuck, damn it.
So close.
That was really close.
It was close.
Damn.
You gave a point to Troy.
I know.
You actually
I
gave...
felt, when I said it, I felt it.
You gave a
I was
point to
like,
Troy.
fuck.
Troy gave a point to you. I think what did Troy justice in the long run was he did get to go a little bit longer. So I think we might have to start setting a timer on this.
Yeah, I think we will.
I think we might have to start setting
We'll
a 30-second
take away the
timer.
objections, too, because it really doesn't do that much. We'll take away the objections. We'll go 30, 45
Your objection
seconds.
actually got you the win against Kyle.
Oh,
because that got you the extra point there.
Well,
so I would say leave him in. When an objection is called, I'll just pause. We'll just pause the timer, let the objection finish, and resume the timer.
okay.
But I think that Troy got it. It was very close to being a tie.
Troy's
got
2-0.
a final last second point.
You were
That
a
was
worthy
2-0
opponent.
for
Troy's
Troy.
2-0.
You were a worthy opponent.
We're going to head into the gambling segment right away. I said no ad. We'll just get right into it. We'll just get right into the gambling segment of the show. All right, gambling segment, everybody. So, first time doing it in the arenas. It was very interesting, and math is hard.
Listen,
but that's okay.
I want to give a disclaimer. Some of my lines that I said were absolute dog shit.
Astronomical lines. My
Some
kill
of them.
line was 80.
Some of them. Your kill line was not 80.
It was close.
It was not 80. It was not 80, but it was very high.
It was high.
I projected too many rounds and too many kills per round, not just per match. So they were a little off. Some of them were so far off. And then some of them, like Kyle's kill line, was dead fucking on at 48.
I wasn't going to lose to my favorite number.
Yeah. So math is hard.
Remember that statement,
sometimes.
boys.
Math is hard sometimes. Brian got it right on some, didn't get it right on others. But
Some math is really easy.
some math is good.
Yeah.
Some math is not.
Kind of like the bones calculation for this
There
week.
is a bones calculation for this week, and for the first time in forever,
Yes.
we have Troy in dead last. No, I'm just kidding. I
So upset.
was trying to get your hopes up.
That was the best face right now.
So, this is how it normally happens, Kyle. People usually go in reverse alphabetical order when they're talking about a list.
Fuck
So
you.
I'm going to go first place right now is me with the W in my name with 150 points. And second place is you with also 150 bones. But your name starts with a K. And most of the time people do
Wait, we're
reverse
tied for first?
No,
Yeah.
no. Somebody has to be first.
Fuck you.
reverse
we're tied
alphabetical.
For first.
Well, no, because reverse alphabetical. That's how
You all
people do
get
it.
out of here. all right?
So-
I mean, you could go last names
We could.
and go normal
Yeah, it's still
alphabetical.
the same shit.
What the fuck?
No, he said. Oh,
So we put him
say
before
it again.
me.
Simplify
Did
this.
you put him before me?
Well, Troy, you actually are dead last.
You actually do have.
I saw Kyle put his hands up, and I couldn't let him have that satisfaction, so I had to say that. Brian is third place with 100. Troy is last with 50, but it's still a very close race across the board. Only 100 points separate first from last, which hasn't been the case in a very long time. It's usually like thousands or like 500 plus or something like that. Kyle literally had to take out 2 loans that he still hasn't paid back yet for that one season.
That's true. You still have yet been able to pay
you already
those back.
forgave me for that.
Well, we forgave you, but you hadn't paid it back.
I don't give a shit.
Either way,
forgiven. I don't give.
Either way, I am first. Kyle is first. He's 1A. Or, I mean, he's 1B. I'm 1A.
I'm 1A, bitch.
I'm holding this card. So
I don't give a shit.
That's all I'm saying. Either way, it's going to be an interesting week because Kyle, if he leads after 2 weeks, that might be the best he's ever done.
That is the best I've ever done.
So that could be huge for him.
You should have dyed your hair sooner,
Kyle?
dude.
Yeah.
Are we all in the same boat?
Blonde Kyle wins, boy.
Kyle's the worst teammate and the worst gambler.
Well, early on,
I'm a terrible gambler.
Early on, he had some chances there.
He did,
but
he also had some chances to be a good teammate.
And well, no, he's never been.
No, I don't think that's.
Yeah,
that's not in my blood.
Yeah, he's never.
There's too much ice in my veins.
But either way, Kyle, he's sitting up higher than he's ever been before. He's got frosted tips. He might have some pit vipers by next week.
Hey, next week we're getting the pit vipers, baby.
So this is big for him.
I'm ordering them tonight,
and we have to respect this. Now let's get to the lines here because there is some locks of the century, and there's some things you got to stay away from. We'll start with myself. Total kills at 40, halves at 20, assists total at 17, halves at 9, win total at 9 because I had a bunch of wins this week, and halves at 5, and then rounds won at 30, halves at 15.
And this is out of 12 weeks.
12
game weeks.
And then we move on to Kyle. Total kills at 48. Mind you, he broke that line this week. Halves at 24. Assists at 12. Halves at 6. Wins at 7. Halves at 4. That is a lock. That is a fucking lock. And rounds won at 30. Halves at 15. We move on to Troy, who actually had a decent week kills-wise, but didn't get too many wins. We're going to go with the total kills at 35, halves at 18, assists at 15, halves at 8, wins at 4, halves at 2. Now that half line, is that not a lock?
Dude, which half are you going to go for? You really think he's going to?
It doesn't matter though.
Listen,
Troy can get 2 wins and a half. It doesn't matter what.
No,
half.
he has to get 3. He has to bet over that.
Yeah, but okay, so you
can push.
Games,
you're betting on a push at that point.
I would bet on a push. Because then you're just getting your bones back, and I think he easily.
You're trying to
hits
go
that.
up, though, baby. You're trying to get in the lead.
Push is not going to get you a win.
It's not going to get you a win. It'll get your bones back, though, and I think it's close. Total rounds won for Troy 22, halves at 11.
What are you out here spinning your wheels?
Well, I mean,
the fuck have you learned after all these seasons, man?
You might as well not even bet.
Well,
you might as well not even be here. Get
no,
the fuck out of here.
I'm not saying.
What are you doing?
I'm not saying you want to push. That's not what I said at all. I said the chance that he hits this is a lot higher in my mind than he doesn't. But even if he doesn't, the worst he will do. Well, the worst he will do, I think, is 2 wins.
You think in a half?
The worst he would do is 2 wins.
He got 2 wins in 1 half this week.
Yeah, but I played 2 games. Listen, I played 2 games without 3 teammates. I disconnected in one of the games, and I was hella rushing because I wanted to be here on time.
And he was rushing, and he counted the ones with no teammates and disconnection.
Okay. Right.
So I'm saying
that's worth
easily,
considering.
Yeah, that's a consideration. And then finishing off with Brian, total kills at 30, halves at 15, total assists at 35, halves at 18. His assist line is fucking nuts. Total wins at 6, halves at 3, and total rounds won at 28, halves at 14. Looking at these lines, immediately I look at Brian's assists. And as much as Brian did well on his assists, and I think he won me some money on his assists this week, that's a high number. 35?
That's a ridiculous
That's
number.
A high number. Even in the
halves.
halves, 18 in 6 games?
If he plays with anybody that's
I got
not
13
Kyle, there's no way he hits it.
I got 13 in 2 games last week.
Yeah, but that's
because
high.
you were playing with Kyle.
That's high.
That's a unique, that's a special circumstance.
Also, I'm coming at myself a little bit here, but total kills at 40, that's a lot. That's a lot.
That is a fucking lot.
It's actually not that far off from what you had.
I don't know.
I know, but
if I can get 35, you can get 40. I know we're at different SBFM, but like I think what made it so that you got less kills is you got so many 3-and-outs.
Yeah,
but
and
I
that's
don't
what I
see
worry
that.
about.
I don't see that getting happening a lot.
Because the last 2 games, it seemed like it balanced out my SBMM a little bit more, and those games were a little bit tougher. Then, if I go into longer games, I think I can hit it. But it just really depends on if I get into those longer games or not.
Yeah.
So I'm looking at that. I'm looking at Troy's kill line. 18.5 seems a little high. That, in my opinion. What do you guys think? 18 is a little high?
I don't think
What?
so. For
Total kills
for Troy?
or half kills.
For Troy?
I don't
Yeah.
think so. I think he hit
18.5.
It's literally half of his. What's his kill line at?
35.
35.
That's half.
Yeah. So I'm saying if you were to
It's
bet a
18.
half line,
Yeah, half.
I don't think I'd bet a half line on
Dude,
Troy.
Well, that's what I'm saying, it's
I can
high.
get
Yeah, I don't get
so many more kills than I got. I am not kidding when I say every match I had between 8 and 10 downs. I just need to get more intentional about finishing people off.
Yeah.
Because I cannot rely on these fucking
Well,
goon-ass
when you're running the
teammates
Spitfire, all you have to do
to
is shoot
finish
at
it
their
up,
shield.
to clutch it up when we get it down to a 1-on-1.
Troy's almost talking me into fucking betting this total win line.
thing
I'm
is,
telling you,
like,
no,
the-
don't bet my wins. Bet my kills.
I bet his kills.
Dude, the thing is with your kills, Troy, because of your random teammates, I can't trust the lines.
Yeah, I mean, I get
Like,
that.
I can't trust it.
And
If I
we-
knew that you were
But
going
I
to play with
trust
one of
Troy.
these guys at the table, I would trust it. It's not that. It's the 2 knocks. Taking a 3-on-1 is difficult because SBMM is based on where you're at in the game. Taking a 3-on-1 is difficult at all times in this game, or it should be. If it's not, your SBMM's fucking whack. It should always be difficult. So doing that is one of the things where it's like, I don't know if I trust his teammates enough to be able to do a proper follow-up. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know.
Perfect.
I'm a little turned off of it.
Prop bets for this week. Once again, we're going back to the perfect quarter bets. I didn't hit my perfect quarter bet on Kyle last week, but I think perfect quarters are going to be a lot more available. I really do. I think if you're not betting a perfect quarter this week, I think you're making a mistake. I think it's the funnest bet to have. You should give it a shot. Perfect quarter bet. I played 3 straight quarters of perfect quarters. 3 straight. I mean, so perfect quarters, they're fun bets. They're fun bets. I think they should be bet
I think
more.
it's something that we definitely will be keeping track of it. And
I
actually
changed
might
my
work
bet
it-
so I could get a perfect quarter.
It might work its way into the actual betting rotation as not even a prop bet, just a consistent line to bet on.
Yeah.
Perfect quarter, and we'll say first, second, third, or fourth for the perfect quarter, and you bet on that person.
All right, who wants to get into their card first? You want to go?
Mine's easy because I don't have that many bones. And so in order to get myself back into the race, I have to hit my Gift of the Allfather bet, which, if you don't know, if this is your first time hanging out, our Gift of the Allfather bet is where we get to make one of our bets a 2-to-1, meaning that if we win, we get a double return. And we only get one, so you have to make sure, usually,
gotta pick
that
it correctly.
it's going to be on the one that you think is the most lock. I hate betting unders on Wyatt. I hate it. I do. But your fucking win line is ridiculous. You have
9.
a ridiculous win. Well, 9 is high, okay? But look at your
Half.
halves.
I got to go basically perfect.
It's you do have to go perfect to beat it,
Yeah.
12,
right? Because it has
12
to be
is
over.
perfect.
Well,
So he has to
I'm
get-
saying his half is at 5, right? And
You
to
would
get
have to
over it, you
assume
have to
that-
get 6.
So for you to bet an over on it, you would have to assume that either of the quarters could get 6. So it's
Either
a
of
very
the halves.
difficult. It's a very difficult one to hit.
No, the
Or
halves.
Sorry, either of the halves.
so it's a
could hit it.
perfect
Like,
half.
It's a very difficult bet to bet on
But
the
see,
half.
this comes back into play again. If I win 5, at the worst, he just gets his money back.
Right.
Right?
And I think that's a better. I think that's a better play than the 2. The 2 is just there's so much up in the air with that for Troy. But Troy, continue with your bet.
I am going to be putting... I have 50 bones to bet. I'm putting 48 of my bones on Wyatt's first half under on wins.
I don't think that's a bad bet at all.
I don't think it's a bad bet either.
Especially if I'm back in the game and it's like I'm there and I'm playing.
I don't see Wyatt
think
getting
that's a
6
solid
wins
bet.
in a row from sitting down at his, at his computer and getting 6 straight wins from starting the session. There's just no way.
Yeah.
So I'm going with that. I think that is the lock of the century.
He has to get 5 wins. Oh, he has to get
5
over,
would be a
Yeah,
put.
over
If
5
he gets
wins.
5, which I think is
You
like
just
the
tie it
best.
up.
That's the best
Yeah.
case scenario for him. Then I just get my money back. So I'm going to be betting my other 2 bones because we have to do a minimum of 3 bets on each of Kyle's halves for assists under 1 bone each.
I mean,
because Kyle is
You don't think I'm gonna hit
notorious.
13.
It's just a statement, really, to the world.
It's a spite bet almost.
I mean, almost.
You don't think I'm going to get 6 assists?
I'm betting
And a
more
half.
against the Dragon Ride of faction than I am you.
Because think about it this way, Kyle.
I
It's
mean-
really just 2 throwaway
Yeah.
bets because they're 1 bone each.
Dude, imagine being in the sudden death round and this fucking wanker is just jumping around with a sentinel trying to hit 360s.
We want to
What
see
a
that video.
bitch.
We want to
But
see
if
that
I
video.
but if I hit him, then it's extra gravy.
I better see that
fucking.
fucking video. That's all I know. Because I ain't seen that shit yet. I'll go
I'll
next.
be wearing pit vipers while I'm doing it, baby.
I'll go next. Once again, I'm not trying to pick on Brian at all, but some of these lines are crazy. I'm going to start off with my gift of the Allfather bet. Brian kills under for 20 bones. Now, here's the thing. Brian's total kills is at 30. We've already established that Brian is much better at getting assists than he is at kills, especially if he's playing with Kyle. Kyle's going to steal those kills 9 times out of 10.
Wow.
30 kills is a fucking lot of kills. It's even for me. So for Brian, it's like, can he do it? Yes, he can do it. But I think if he's playing with a teammate, even if he's playing with some of his other teammates that he uses, for instance, Dallin, getting those kills, that last bullet is where I think it's going to be difficult for Brian. So I'm going kills under for 20 bones, gift to the Allfather. All my bets are 20 bones this week. I'm also going with Troy's total wins over at 20. I'm going for it. I think it's a risky one when you look at it from like the perspective of, well, Troy's kind of a wild card, but at the same time, we've already said that he was rushing himself. We've already said that he had no teammates in 2 of his games, and 1 of his games he disconnected. I think he can get 5 wins, and he's already established that he's not going for kills, he's going for wins. Troy told me not to bet this, but I'm going for it anyway. I'm going to put some trust in him. Total wins over for 20 bones.
Oh, yeah, baby.
I'm also going to go with Brian's first half wins over. Now, I said that I was going to go a little tough on Brian this week, but this is the one bet that I think he can hit easy. Wins in the first half over. You look at this.
For how much?
For 20 bones. 3? 3 in the first half? I think that's so easy for him, and even if he only wins 3, I just get my money back. Like, I think he's easily going to get at least 4 wins.
I think you're getting your money back.
You think yeah.
I
but
average
see,
my average right now. My win rate is what, a 55%.
I thought it was 65.
It dropped a little
Okay,
bit.
okay.
It's dropped a little bit since I set our lines and actually played our games. Between the time when I played my games and when I set the lines, it dropped a little bit. It's at 55 right now. So you actually could hit that.
Yeah,
from
and
the way that stands.
And so it really comes down to 1 or 2 fights is what it comes down to for me, and I think you can win those 1 or 2 fights. So I'm going to go with that. And then my last bet for 20 bones is Brian's first half assists under. Now, I do believe Brian does get a lot more assists, but 18 in 6 games? I don't know. That's tough. So I'm going to go with that under, and that'll round it out for my card.
So you're betting a total 80 bones?
Yes.
Okay.
That a boy, dude. That's some big boy
You
numbers.
want me to go?
You can go if you want. My lines are set in pen, so.
All right. Well, I'm going to go. I'm putting up some big boy numbers this week. Okay? We're either going to win it all or we're going to lose it all. Let me tell you.
Well,
right
history has said that you will
Famous
Yeah,
last
yeah, that's great. Hold
100
on, Kyle. Make your bets. So whatever you bet on, I can go the opposite.
150 bones, baby, all on the table.
There we
All
go.
right. All right, we got 20 bones on Wyatt's wins over because I got faith in my boy. Okay, he's got to win. He won 10 wins last week. He can do it this week. Okay, he got 9 wins. He's got 9 wins to do it, and even if he ties it, get my money back. Not a big deal. Okay,
Well, there goes 20 bones.
20 bones on my assists over. This is a spite back for all you fuckers that think that I can't get any assists. Okay,
Returning spite bets with spite.
Is that a total or a half?
that's a total.
It's a total assist over for Kyle. There's 20 more
Yes.
bones.
Okay. Then I got 20 bones on my kills over. Okay, because I'm not letting my favorite number defeat me again. All right, I'm over it. I'm
There
about
you
to
go.
get over it.
There you go.
Now, my gift of the Allfather is an under on Brian because there's no way that he's getting 35 assists.
There's
There's
just
no
so
way
much,
in
bro.
fucking hell. I have the 60-bone bet on Brian's assists under because he's got to hit 30 fucking 5. Even if he plays with me, there's no way he's getting 30
That's a
fucking
lot.
5.
That's a lot.
That is a shit ton.
Dude, that's what the numbers landed on.
You upped it. There's
By
no way.
dude, I upped it by 1.
That one's a big deal, dog. One's a big deal. Bones, okay, and then I got 10 bones on kills, on Troy's kills over because I gotta put a little faith out there for my boy. And then as a dope bet, because I do think these perfect quarter bets are dope, I put 20 bones on Wyatt's perfect quarter in the second quarter because I think that he could probably get a perfect quarter in the second.
You're nuts.
And that'll round up my card. 150 out, baby.
This is why you can't fucking win these things. You literally bet the dumbest shit. What are you doing?
Big W, baby. We out here.
Kyle, I love myself, but when you just said wins over for me, I have to think like, what are you doing? That's 10 wins I got to get.
So
you're calling just a blanket perfect quarter. He's going to get a perfect quarter, or are you calling
No, he said second.
I said second
Second.
quarter. Second quarter.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, Kyle, your card's a little
Kyle,
tough.
that's a little rough.
All you guys in the Discord gave him way too much attention for being last. Okay? Now he's fucking going for it.
No, I'm going to win this bitch. I don't even think you guys know, but I'm going to win this bitch.
Oh,
All right,
man.
I'm going to
straight
run
up
through my
winning.
line real fast, get that done with. For my first bet, I got 15 bones over on Kyle's total assists. I do think you can actually beat that. I think you can get a little bit better of a teammate. Progress. We're going to trend in the right direction this time. I'm going to follow that up with the old phrase, if you can't bet on yourself, who are you going to bet on? 20
back,
bones,
baby.
20 bones over on myself for my total kills.
Okay.
And then, Troy, I had to throw you a bone somewhere.
Thanks, man.
So I bet 5 bones on you.
You fucker.
I bet 5 over on your total wins.
At least it was an over.
I think that you can actually hit that. I think that's a doable number. Don't make me waste 5 bones.
I'll try it. I don't want
And then, Troy, similar to you, as a gift of the Allfather, I have a bet on Wyatt under on his second half total wins, or second half wins. I think that he is not going to be able to get 5 wins in the second half.
That seems like the lock at this table right now.
And I got 60 bones on that. So that rounds out my card. I have all my bones in play, just like Kyle. The only thing is I actually made smart bets, and I'm going to be able to capitalize more.
It's all right, baby. When I'm on the you see the first place pedestal. When I'm standing up there and you guys are all looking up at me, I'll let you guys know. It's all right.
Do you know what that feeling is like, don't you?
No, I don't.
Oh, we do.
I'm usually
All of
at
us
the very
do,
bottom.
except for you.
Yeah.
All of us know what that's like, except for you.
Yeah, I know. From the bottom, it feels pretty good
Listen,
too. So
if
the top's got to
just-
feel a whole lot better.
Just want to let everyone know, the Dragon Riders have never been in first place. The Direwolves have been in first place. Maybe not as much as the bitches. Oh, the Workhorses. Maybe not as much as
The
them.
bitch fires. Oh,
yes,
wait.
yes, the bitch fires. The Spitfires.
The bitch fires.
But you know what? I will state this: we do hold the all-time record for bones, and the lead in that is by a astronomical mark.
That's a dire wolf thing right there.
Listen.
Troy's 3 wins really speaks to his workhorse mentality
But
because
when-
he's going for the victory every single time. Whereas the dire wolves are trying to get as much as they can, and kind of go up from there.
But we're not trying to get as much as we can. We just get as much as we can because we end up to that result.
Yeah.
While Kyle and the
Dragon-
Dragon Riders
well,
are trying to
fuck.
get that much, and they end up shooting themselves in the
no,
foot.
no,
and
listen,
they're
listen.
negative 420 bones.
The Dragon Riders just do the best they can, Kay, and we
What happened
look
to the
good
Flash?
doing
Well,
it.
the Dragon
we
Riders-
look good doing it.
Well,
Okay.
the Dragon Riders, if you look at his card this week, that's all flash bets. Like
That's-
if
everything's
those
a flash
hit,
all
baby.
flash
that's
bets, bro.
if those hit,
We're
that'll
looking
be
good.
amazing.
That is fucking.
But when
all
they
flash
miss-
bets.
We're looking
Yeah.
good out here, baby.
Some-
But when they
But if we
miss-
hit
miss.
those,
When they
we
miss.
hit those.
But when they miss is,
Ugh.
No,
and I would just like to
when we
state,
hit those.
I would just like to state, I am a free agent. I have not picked a faction yet. Although I have given a lot of love to the Workhorses, I have not officially signed any sort of contract or deal quite yet. And it's tough because I'm not the biggest fan of the Spitfire, but I do like what the Workhorses bring to the table. I like winning. I like that. I also like what the Direwolves bring because they use like Brian said, it's not about using those guns. I like the rules set in play because I've always been that type of guy to be like, hey, if you use this weapon, you're a bitch. Back when me and Kyle used to play Uncharted 3 online all the time, there was the gun, the M9 that everybody used. We refused to use it because we're like, fuck you. We're gonna beat you with other weapons, and that's what we did. So I am a part of that. And then the Dragon Riders, I like messing around and having fun with the Wingman. I also like Pit Vipers. I think they're fucking sick glasses, and I might even get myself a pair. But I'm still a free agent at this point.
Listen, Direwolves, we love the game. We want to win at the game. We want to play the game, but we don't want to make it unenjoyable for everyone else playing the game at the same time.
Okay.
We want to have a fun game, kick their asses, and make them want to play us again, so we can kick their asses again.
All right. Yeah. I like it.
You know what? As a Workhorse, we're not going out there to win with the intention of making it suck for other people. All right, we're not doing that.
But you are.
But losing inherently is not a good time. So
you got to weigh it.
Yes.
Yeah.
We're gonna make some people feel bad as a result of our clock in, clock out win in the most efficient, consistent means. In the most consistent and efficient manner possible, sort of mentality.
Hey,
all right, but it's not cheap. Okay, listen. Every single person on that opening home screen can click the Spitfire. It's one click because that's all the money you have. Anybody can fucking do it. And at some point, right, you get sick of being a direwolf and just getting shit on all the time. Yeah, and you end up saying, if you can't beat him, I guess we got to join him. And you start using that weapon off the rip. Now, nobody ever asked, hey, Troy, what do you use when you get into the later rounds? I don't use the Spitfire after round 3 or 4.
Okay.
No, just for the easy wins.
There's not anything easy about winning with the Spitfire. It's not an overpowered. It's not an overpowered weapon.
What?
It's absolutely not an overpowered weapon. You can buy the Flatline off rip. You could buy the R9 off rip. You could buy the Mastiff off rip. You could buy tons of guns that have
named off like 2 shitty guns and 1 decently good.
Listen,
gun.
There's nothing shitty about the Mastiff, and there's even though yes, the R9 with there's nothing shitty about the Mastiff, bro.
Well,
the Mastiff's the worst shotgun in the game.
Everybody is saying that because of the economy, it doesn't make sense, and I understand that. But if you like the way the Mastiff shoots, you can make it work even without a bolt. Absolutely. Same thing with an R9. Does the R9 make a ton of sense when you don't have an extended magazine on it and potential for some stabilization? No. But if you're really good with it up close, that shit doesn't matter, bro. That still has an insane DPS. That's all I'm saying.
A Workhorse.
And
if you think that the Spitfire is an overpowered gun and one that makes the game unfun, boring, unenjoyable, you might be a direwolf.
Well, to all the listeners out there, I want you guys, once again, I'm asking, send me a DM, send me a message on Twitter, send me a message on Instagram, send me a message in the Discord. I don't want to see any words. I just want to see the 3 emojis that I have been using over the last week. Either the dragon, the wolf, or the horse, the racehorse. You send me that so I know, so I can take a mental note of what has been going down and where people are landing on this subject. We know where Kareem is. He said he was already a direwolf earlier in the interview. We know where he is. Where are the rest of you? Because I've seen some Workhorses out there. I've seen some direwolves out there. I've even seen some Dragon Riders out there.
Dragon Riders, baby.
They're out there. So I want you guys to let me know where you guys stand.
You got to look really hard.
That should just about wrap.
Waldo.
It is.
Get the fuck out of here.
It really find the Dragon Rider in the sea of sensible people. Yeah.
I found Fido.
Shut the fuck up. We out there, baby. There's not that many of us because not that many can look this good.
That should just about wrap.
There's the Dragon Rider butt naked under the hot dog stand.
Right next to Wraith, baby.
Trying to do a 360 with the mustard.
She loves that shit. She loves the meat.
Came for the meats.
The meat. that should just about wrap up the episode. We'll if I don't stop it now, we're gonna be discussing this for another 30 minutes. That should just about wrap it up for the episode. Thank you guys for tuning in. Like we said, join the Discord, join in, do all your stuff, do all your things, hop in, join the community, leave a review at the end of the show. We appreciate you guys for listening. We'll catch you guys next week. See ya.
Peace.